and specifically an abundance of trash, public urination, defecation, and that's why we're here today to encourage you to please move forward with some type of enforcement activity to take place with this. What we're seeing in that area is different levels of trash and debris, whether it be from trash from people eating, church groups coming to the area to feed people, which I applaud them for doing that. Typically, they bring their own trash receptacles, and they try to contain the trash. But the other part of trash that we're having has to do with people bringing in, transient people bringing in suitcases filled with their belongings, hefty bags filled with clothing items, and for some strange reason, when they decide to move on, they leave the product there. They're storing their items in Bergmadez Park, but more so on the sidewalks in front of our businesses. So when we come in the morning, the sidewalks are strewn with clothes, debris, you name it, whatever else they've left inside their luggage. And so the onus is on us to clean it up. And so twice a week on trash day, and when I wheel my receptacle outside, I go out there with gloves on, trash bag, I clean up, and we start the procedure all over again next week. The other problem we're having is the public urination and defecation, which has become really a problem. We, property owners right there on Franklin Street, Florida Avenue, we just, within the last year, have petitioned the city to vacate one of the last remaining open alleyways there because it had become the public restroom and had been for years, and it was becoming quite an unsanitary condition. With Mr. Cass's help, all the property owners, we got together, we closed down the alley, put up some nice decorative gates, but now the people are proceeding to go in between the cars in the parking lots. 2 weeks ago, I was out in front of my building, 9:30 in the morning, this time of day, and there's a man standing there on the sidewalk urinating on the Rialto Theater. When we yelled at him for doing that, his response was, "Well, what do you expect me to do?" I don't know, but I don't expect him to go in public like that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Next, please.
My name is Ron Zeeland. I have a company called Offsite Technology Solutions, and our business is located on 1613 North Franklin Street. We moved into that area about 2 years ago, in part because the city provided us with a pretty large tax incentive to go in there representing their investment in the community in that neighborhood. And I, in turn, spent about $600,000 on the building as well. We have about 20 employees, as I mentioned. Our employees come from all around the city, St. Pete, Brandon, Tarpon Springs, etc. We also have customers coming in from out of town, other cities, other states, etc., that come to our office. The reason I'm here is because we need your help. We're having a problem enforcing existing laws in that neighborhood, and it's turning into an embarrassment where when we have people coming in from outside the city, they look at our neighborhood and they laugh and they say, "I had no idea Tampa had such dangerous neighborhoods around here." In the last 60 days in particular, it's gotten a lot worse, it's gotten a lot more confrontational, and it's gotten a lot more violent to the point where my employees are getting harassed on their way out to their cars by having transients yelling at them, approaching them, asking them for money. My employees are scared, and I'm concerned that I'm going to lose employees if something doesn't change in that neighborhood. There's about 10 things that are going on there that I wanted to add some color so that you could kind of see the problems that we're up against in the neighborhood recently. Urinating on buildings, defecating on cars, they're using and buying drugs, they're gambling on the corners, they're breaking into cars, they walk by, they lift up the car handles, they're vandalizing my building. I had a window get broken about 3 months ago. They're throwing bricks through glass doors, littering, sleeping around. They're camping out in that park next to Bush Ross. Particularly on garbage days, they're tipping over trash cans and spreading it around the streets where we can't even take our garbage out. We're getting confronted and yelled at by the transients in that neighborhood. We're not against homeless people, but we're against our criminals. And that behavior isn't tolerated in any other neighborhoods around Tampa. So I'm wondering, why are we being treated differently in this 4-block area that we have? It's not unmanageable. It's not that big. But like, I'm afraid I'm going to lose staff, and we're going to have to relocate our business if something isn't getting done about it. My other concern right now is that some of my employees have concealed carry permits, and they're using them now because they're telling me that they're concerned about their safety in that area. So I'm here to ask you for help and to ask us to enforce existing laws, because it's not a homeless problem, it's a criminal problem. Thank you.
Appreciate it very much. Next, please.
Morning. My name is Mike Cass. I'm a lawyer. I've been in that area since 1982. My primary building is at 1505 North Florida, as well as 1506 North Florida, 1502 North Florida, and on the back end on Marion Street. I have approximately 500 employees. About 400 of them are women. And for the first 20 years, actually, I really was okay there. In the last 10 years, it's just become intolerable. It's impacting my ability to hire people. I have to have people on staff to go and walk people across the street at the end of the day. Some of the women, because they're being accosted by some of the homeless people. I would echo what Mr. Zeeland said and what Carl Johnson said as well. All of those things are happening on a daily basis. Our law firm has spent a considerable amount of time in erecting security fences